Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing, for round 3 of the Challenger class, and we are up in the country of maple syrup in hockey. It's the Canadian Grand Prix here in Montreal, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, for round 3, the first 3-tire special of the season. We got 13 drivers tonight. It should be a good one. My name is Camden Luca, per usual, back in the booth again this week. Alongside me is my co-commentator, per usual, the Season 12 Silver Class Champion, Sir Charles. How we doing?
We're doing pretty good. I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously, the 3-tire special offers a unique strategy, but in a place where there's likely to be, as XD Champs has a bit of a slap against the wall, but in a place where, cautions are usually aplenty, and, there's a relatively short pit delta, can open up some unique opportunities here with strategy. Like I said, I have to use all 3 of the dry compounds. Should be a pretty good strategy. Like I said, it's going to be an exciting race because, one, there's usually a lot of cautions. The walls are pretty close here, a lot of fast left-right flicks. It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, see how these guys handle it, and they've been pretty exciting so far, and I'm expecting more of the same.
One of the things I'm looking forward to is the camera angles. You just saw the camera there off the wall in turn 4. The camera shots are super cool around here, so I don't know about the helicopter cam, though. I haven't seen that quite yet, but I'm sure we'll get that eventually. But you do see on the leaderboard that F1 Nerd has retired from qualifying. He is serving a back of the grid for a couple of incidents that he got into in the Elite Series race last week, so he will be starting at the back.
Yeah, and to be fair to F1 Nerd, this is probably the one race you would want to have a back of the grid penalty. Yeah, I mean, there's relatively short grid, only 13 drivers, but also 3-tire special is going to be like I said, a lot of opportunities to get ahead on strategy, a lot of opportunities, to make up ground with, safety cars and all that sort of stuff. So, again, not the end of the world. And one thing too, I mean, this is also known, at least in this game, the corner cutting Grand Prix. There are going to be a lot of time penalties, and it's, if you keep it clean and get a late race safety car, you could be in for a podium just by finishing the race, pretty much. So, not getting time penalties is going to be a key. There's going to be 1 or 2 drivers who just have 12 or 15 seconds worth of time penalties, some sort of astronomical number. I'm looking at you, Speedy, but yeah,
wow.
We'll see how this all shakes out. Like I said, I'm sure there's going to be 1 or 2 guys who also keep it clean and really benefit at the end. So, this is certainly a race where the fastest driver might not necessarily win.
And I've heard from some people that they don't like this track because of the corner cutting and whatnot, but I love it. I think it's a unique challenge that we really don't see at any other track because, like you said, I mean, the penalties do not compare to any other track the way that Canada does with the penalties. So, and on top of that, we got the 3-tire special. And speaking of tires, Chabar has done his lap on mediums, and he's in 6th place right now. So keep an eye out for that Red Bull driver there. He might have some pretty good pace tonight.
Yeah, I will say the top 2 in the Mercedes, those are some pretty respectable times. I mean, I feel like, every time I say that, that steps up, but I know some of the other races have done 1:10.6 is a pretty respectable time. And certainly won't, we'll probably have you in the bottom half still, but it certainly won't get you last in tomorrow's race, so.
I did speak with Kluka before the race, and he said that Pilot is going to be fast, so, and based on the leaderboard, yeah, Pilot's fast, but Kluka, like you said, a 1:10.6, so he is really, really dominating the leaderboard right now. Purple Sector 1 there for Pilot.
Purple Sector 2 for D-Swish, who's finally making his season debut. Every time he shows up, he's usually a threat to win, especially in the below division, so X-Silver class, now the Challenger class.
D-Swish hasn't showed up to the first 2 races, but he is certainly one of the fastest drivers on the grid.
Yeah, he kind of messed up the final chicane there. That certainly cost him something. He would have been on pole if he would have gotten through that final chicane better, which is... That final chicane, it's such a mental kind of game, especially when you know you have a good lap, because, I mean, the way to be fast, you have to just throw the car through that final chicane. And, yeah, it's a solid lap idea. And Pilot ties Kluka, and somehow doesn't get pole.
Yeah, I can hear Kluka in the other room. He's kind of going crazy right now about that. Mercedes, yeah. Who's beating who in equal machinery right now? Well, none of them. They are tied.
Well, Kluka would get pole, so, I mean...
Yeah, technically, but not by much.
Some guy had a really good second sector. Sitting only 2 tenths off Series, but a long ways off top 3. Let's see how he gets through the slash chicane here. Much better than what D-Swish did. A little, not perfect, lost a little on the exit. And he goes pole.
Yeah, this is the guy to look for so far. 2 for 2 in the first 2 races, and he didn't Mickey Mouse his way into either of those. He earned both of those on pace. Speedin headed through Sector 2 right now, approaching the hairpin.
Looks like Speedy, I don't know if Speedy invalidated, but he's doing this thing where he does 1 lap and then goes for a flyer, unless he's going to be, he might be on the end lap here. Certainly, like I said, relatively short lap time, plenty space to cut, so I expect there to be plenty. He's got more than enough time to get in, put a fresh set of tires on, and get that going. But he's actually going for it. He did this to the first time. I thought he just kind of made a mistake, but I don't know if we think doing a second lap on the same set of tires is good, but it's not helping him any, that's for sure. He is 3 tenths up on his time, albeit his time currently is over a second off the guy in front of him, so plenty of room to improve here for Speedy.
I will say though, Speedy's had a reputation of being aggressive, but he is consistent. His first 3 races, if you include the sprint race at Mexico, 6th, 6th, and 6th. So, I don't know if you want to mess with him. I mean, 3 6s, that's, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not, but he's had a solid start to the season, all things considered.
And I just saw...
Oh.
And he's got 6% battery, too, by the way.
Yeah, and I mean... And then now he's going to try desperately to get back around, which, I mean, I feel like we should have done a lap earlier, but... It's going to be close.
Well, if he keeps doing that, he might get back, which, by the way, just a clarification, he's out of fuel, I think, so I don't think he's going to be getting back. You can cut the corners in qualifying. That is not a rule breaker. And yeah, Speedy's qualifying is over. He is out of fuel.
Yeah, not entirely sure what the game plan was there, must be said, but one of those things, as long as you don't interfere with anyone else,
which he almost did. That was close with Joby.
Yeah, Joby kind of made a mess of those 2 turns there, so we'll move out. Kluka on the flyer right now. Oh, no, he backs out. He invalidated. Thankfully, he invalidated at the beginning of the lap, so he'll have most of his battery. He'll have to go again on some used tires. But again, he does have plenty enough time, so... Now he's trying to burn fuel. Everyone on their outlap. Except some guy who I think is coming out of the pits right now. So.
Yeah, everybody except Joby, who just finished up his lap. He does improve, but he will remain in P11 for the time being. And yeah, this is the big thing. Some guy coming back out on track to start his lap. Kluka about to start his. So it could be a showdown between those two.
Looks like Kluka will be the first to start a flyer. Well, as I say that, C. Rizzi also invalidated, so he's the same boat Kluka is at the moment.
Let's see how he does here in the first couple of corners.
Pretty nice and tidy there. Only down to 5th gear there. Fourth, but that looked very smooth. Didn't improve by a whole lot, but maybe his first sector. Like I said, Kluga does have a lot of room to improve in that final chicane, I believe. Maybe, or was that Pilot? No, that's Kluga. Kluga does have plenty of room to improve. There is time on the board here. Oh, he invalidated!
He
That
did.
is it. He had a good one going. That had to be close. Pilot is even with his time. Oh, and Pilot's done. Pilot will not improve.
Wow,
See,
bad
Rizzi just started a lap.
lap for Mercedes right there.
Yeah. And Kuka had a really good one going. I feel bad for him. And especially considering he had a lot of time to gain later in the lap as well.
What?
See, Rizzi not as smooth through first left,
Okay.
right?
Oh, and he's done.
Jabbar improved by quite a bit there. Speeding jumped up a bit. Actually, now we got D-Swish starting a lap as well. He's got a lot of traffic in front of him. He's getting out of the way. Ooh, he nailed that first section there. Purple sector 1 for D-Swish. Looking good so far.
I'm curious what the Ferraris are doing real quick. Hallberg is getting chased by Speedin. Speedin just finished his lap, so I'm a little curious as to what's going on here.
I mean, maybe they were trying to set up a slipstream. Meanwhile, D-Swish is half a second up. This is going to be an absolute flyer. Just see, I mean, he doesn't even have to do. I mean, he can kind of, he can almost botch just final chicanes once he doesn't get a time penalty. And I mean, he might get into the 109s if he really nails this last chicane, but certainly doesn't need to get pole here. Oh, he got through there good. This could be a 109. Guy on the clock. Oh, just the 109. That is a absolute flying lap. I'd bet to say that might put you in the top half of tomorrow's race as well. Yeah, low 110s is no joke, although I'm sure guys like Forzan and Lawrence will be on their own planet in the 109 zeros, but that was a fantastic clutch lap from D-Swish.
It was. Welcome back to TCR D-Swish, top of the charts by nearly half a second over some guy, the reigning two-time winner of this class. And the big story, though, is F1 Nerd back at the grid, so he'll be looking to try and do a last to first.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's in a good spot to do it. He's been some guy's main challenger so far, at least on raw pace, so was almost in a position to win last week. Led quite a few laps in Mexico. But yeah, he's starting in the back. I don't expect him to stay there for very long.
I agree. Well, Charles, it is that time. It is predictions time. That's my new sound effect.
We just lost half of our viewers right there.
Yeah, everybody under 50 is like, what was that? Who do you got?
Ooh, Oh, come on. That's cruel. Literally joined about a minute too late, but oh well.
Womp womp.
So we could have had 14 drivers, but yeah, I'm going to go. Some guy has been really consistent. He hasn't made a whole lot of mistakes. D-Swish is a little bit inconsistent. I mean, he's been all over. I mean, when D-Swish is on, he's really on. So, man. I feel like I'm gambling here because, like I said, D-Swish is just a bit inconsistent, and like I said, but he is relatively good with, I feel, track limits. So I'm going to go D-Swish P2, so some guy, D-Swish. And then, I'll tell you what, if we get a late safety car, like I said, someone who I don't think will pick up many time penalties, I'm going to go Chabar in P3. I think he can really capitalize and maybe get a podium. And I think, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, did he get a podium or almost get a podium from like just not having any time penalties at one of these races?
Probably. With his consistency, yeah, probably.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but I mean, you've definitely seen guys cross the line at like 6th or 7th and end up on the podium, so. Some guy, D-Swish, Jabbar is my top 3.
Yeah. I am going to go out on a limb here. This is a little different because usually I take a safe pick, but time penalties are the biggest thing here. So it's about being consistent and staying on track, right? With D-Swish, like you said, we don't really have that track record of consistency, and this is his first race, so we don't know where he's at. I am going to say Chabar will pick up his second TCR win today. I just think it's going to be an oddball of a race. I think Chabar is going to get up there and he's going to get this done. So I'm going to go Chabar P1. I'll go some guy P2 just because of penalties. And then I'll go F1 Nerd P3 because F1 Nerd really, I mean, his qualifying this season has been abysmal. The first 2 races he qualified mid-pack. It didn't have a back of the grid, just qualified mid-pack, and still finished up in the podium. So I think he can do what he's got to do to get to the front. So I've got Chabar, some guy, and F1 Nerd.
Yeah, and the thing that kind of makes you hesitate on F1 Nerd is that at times he has really been bad about track limits. At times.
Yep.
His pace and racecraft and him generally staying out of trouble, albeit minus the lead race last week, is generally pretty good. But sometimes he's either clean, but it seems like if he gets 1 3-second penalty, it turns into 3 penalties in like 2 seconds. So just avoid the snowball effect. I think he'll be in a good spot. He does kind of have that tendency.
And just a reminder too.
What a speed meet on? What in the world?
He's doing his usual formation lap shenanigans. Watch, he's gonna park in like a 90-degree angle into his spot.
Yeah. Apparently that was a hack a while ago. Get extra grip off line. Doesn't really. He did a little bit there. That F1 Nerd does not know how to park. Matters. Him anyway.
All right, here we go. The 3-tire special, the Canadian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go from the Canadian Grand Prix. Who gets off the line the best? D-Switch gets the jump over some guy. Speedin's making a move here into the first corner. Let's see if they get out of this alive. There's contact there, and Kluka goes spinning off into turn 1, and he goes from the front row all the way to the back.
See, Rizzy lost a lot of spots, got onto the grass. He did a good job not to spin out to beat there. Yeah. Oh man, Kluka is just having a rough time on turn 1 in these races. The pace is there, he just can't stay out of trouble in the first few laps. Interesting. We didn't really talk about the tire strategy, but we got a good mix of soft, mediums, and hards.
Yeah, definitely. F1 Nerd is on those hards. Oh, XD champ. Yeah, XD. Off the track.
He just missed a corner. And Sears, he kind of followed him, and we're going to have 3 wide into the hairpin. F1 Nerd backs out of it, and the track's still over here there, Mr. Oreo.
Yeah, he missed it pretty badly. It looked like they were about to crash. They were about to go 3 wide, but obviously that did not work out.
It's one of those things, like, instinctively you wanted to save the softs for the end in case you get a late safety car and you can just be absolutely hauling the mail, but if you get an early safety car, you can basically get off the softs and basically it's a normal hard medium race from there. And you have a tire advantage over everyone, so that's kind of the balancing act you have to play. Whereas I think the other preferred strategy would be hard, medium, soft, because that way whenever you pit, you're always on a faster tire than at least somebody. You can just progressively get faster and faster throughout the race. Good for just gaining momentum. But then, yeah, like I said, safety cars will inevitably play a factor into some of that.
Ooh, some guy is pushing it there out of turn 9. He has closed in on D-Swish. Let's take a look at the positions gained and lost off the start. Speedy Gunner up 4 spots into his lucky 6th place. And we talked about it before, Kluka all the way down to last. Oh, and XD Champ has a bit of a slide. I did hear that he is on controller tonight, which is not usual, so that might explain his poor start.
Yeah, well, it wasn't necessarily a pace thing, he just kind of missed the corner, but that tends to happen. But he does drop down to last as Kluka is starting his charge to the front now.
DRS is active. Pilot might have gotten a warning right there going through turn 4.
Ooh, boy, Speedy had a huge moment there, and that was actually a really good save on his part, but will lose DRS because of that.
Oh, and XD Champ crashes out, and that is our first safety car on lap 3.
Yeah, XD Champ seemed like he was fighting a losing battle from the start there. I don't know how much of that you caught, but this plays perfectly into the hands of the guys who started on the softs, because now they can pit, and it's basically a simple one-stop. Now, for them, however, it's just, they got to cross their fingers, and if everyone behaves for the rest of the race, the guys on softs, who should all pit right here, are looking really good for the rest of the race now.
You got to remember, though, they actually have to stop 2 more times because of the 3 tire special.
Yeah, so that's why the softs guys are in a great position.
Oh, okay.
So they can get rid of the softs now.
Yeah, gotcha.
And Speedy what did Speedy just do? Speedy just spun, speeding, and Speedy just reset the track. That's going to be a penalty. You can't do that. Speedy just made a bad situation one for that. Speedy just ran over Speed, and I don't know what he was doing. It's like he couldn't decide whether or not he wanted to pit. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know if you see the old cartoons where one guy goes left, one guy goes right, and there's always one guy just in the middle can't make up his mind. That was what Speedy was doing. And just for really no reason spun Speeding out. I don't think Speed's actually going to lose a whole lot. He's going to lose 1 position to his teammate and F1 Nerd. But that was really just poor racecraft from Speedy Gunner there. I don't know. That wasn't even racecraft. I mean, it is one thing I forgot to mention. The pit entry can be very treacherous here, because in order to get into pit road, you have to speed onto it past the braking zone. However, that's usually only under green flag conditions. It's under safety car. There's just no reason for that nonsense, frankly, under these conditions. But yeah, interesting. Almost everyone in the field pitted for new tires.
And we'll have to see. Oh, yeah. Why did he pit on the mediums?
What did Kluka start on?
Softs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Good strat. So he's going medium hards, whereas everyone else is going hards mediums, what it looks like. With the exception of a few, I think some of the guys. Let's take a look at the race director again. With the exception of Pilot and Chibar, they still have to put on the soft tires. Or they are on the hards. They can, in theory, the hards wear pretty fast, and I don't think they're particularly that great around here. But they can stretch the hards and probably do a one-stop as well. I just think the hard mediums from here would probably be a little bit quicker than the hard softs. The medium's definitely the best race tire, I'll say that.
Yeah, and we do have to factor in safety cars. We've already had one, and if you've watched the first 2 weeks of the season, you would know that the over-under on safety cars has to be around 3, because it seems like we just get safety cars every 5 laps or so.
Yeah. I mean, part of that too is the tracks. I mean, let's be honest, you know, the tracks we've been at have been pretty treacherous. Miami's one of those tracks that safety cars built upon safety cars. Mexico isn't the easiest track by any means, especially if you throw in rain or not rain or mixed conditions or whatever the heck is going on. And obviously Canada is probably one of the more safety car prone tracks, you know, unless you count Monaco or something. But
okay, safety car in this lap. Hallberg's got a lot of time to dictate this restart, and Hallberg right now is tied for 3rd in points with Kluka and C. Rizzi, so a good little battle there, because above them, you got some guy in F1 Nerd just in their own universe. And there goes Hallberg.
Worth noting, F1 Nerd in second from starting the last. Now, most of the field does have a pit stop in hand on F1 Nerd, it's worth pointing out, but it'll be interesting to see what he can make of his track position now that he has it. Also, D-Swish trying to make quick work of Joby here. I imagine D-Swish, once he gets around Joby, will be on the top 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah, Joby here leading this train of 4 as we now head down this back straightaway.
F1 Nerd straight to lead.
Yeah. Hallberg now under pressure from Speedin.
Speedin, it's going to be interesting to see how Speedin reacts here, because he should be the leader right now. I had that taken away from him, but we shall see. Smoke coming up in that hairpin. I'm not looking forward to that tomorrow. Smoke in this game, like, your tires smoke when you don't lock. That is something about this. I understand what they were going for, but it's just, yeah, it's not had that. Some guy, great run through the wall, champion chicane, be a bit of a straightforward overtake. Pilot try to follow him through. He does. Oh, Joby did not give much space there, but we're all good.
Oh man, this has been a bad sector. Oh, look at this! Speedy taking it to the inside here. And he stays in P9.
Oh,
boy, Joby.
Around.
Yep, and that's an incident with Oreo Hafrican here.
Yeah, I think the incident was actually, I think Oreo was kind of stacked in on. I don't know if Oreo maybe ran into the back of him, but it looked like Speedy was clear of C-Rizzi, so I'm not really sure what caused that. I'm sure we'll get a replay somewhere in the studio. Let's see.
Oh, Joby really misses the hairpin there. Has to go off the track.
Yeah, just looked at the replay there on the stream. Looks like you see Rizzi got tagged from behind, or he might have even lost it on his own. It's kind of hard to tell. And as predicted, D-Swish has really made no, really hasn't, it's made quick work getting within DRS range of the 2 Ferraris, but F1 Nerd trying to pull away and run for the hills here.
I know it's early in the race, but last to first already for F1 Nerd, just making it look easy.
Just keeping the nose clean and yeah. Now you might be wondering, like, F1 Nerd, I mean, he's in an interesting spot because he'll technically have fresher tires than the rest of the guys, the rest of the race. He'll have a tire advantage for the rest of the race, so he doesn't have one now. But when he pits, he'll have a tire advantage for the rest of the race. And pit delta is pretty short here, one of the shorter ones, you know, on the calendar. So won't be as big a disadvantage as it would be if, you know, if it's just 3 tire specials at Britain, for example, which the delta there is ridiculous. But Speedy getting a little sideways to the wall championship game, but we're all good. Some guy has now got caught right up to the back of D-Swish. Pilot's there too.
Yeah, D-Swish not wasting any more time, really trying to get past Speed, and there's our first penalty of the leaders. No! There he goes, and he's out of the race. Holbert gets a penalty and then crashes out just like that, and there's our second safety car. Wow.
Well, now this is good news. I imagine the top two, I was going to say top three, but all just crashed. Two should definitely pit now. And imagine most people who pitted on the last safety car will stay out. But I would imagine. It'd be interesting to see here. Oh, Speedy just pitted. Must have gotten wing damage somewhere.
Yeah, that could not have been at a better time for Speedy. That was... it's almost like he knew that that safety car was going to come out. But yeah, that was crazy. When I saw Hallberg crash, I thought he was about to come back in front of several others and just create a huge crash, but luckily Hallberg was the only victim.
Yeah, I was saying where he pitted to, not the greatest spot. Interesting, Pilot comes into pits. Interesting. It's on the softs. Ooh. Now that is a strategy.
Yeah, same with Speedin.
Speedin? Yeah, huh. Now Speedin, the only tire Speedin has left is the hard, so he's on the one stop. I'm assuming Pilot, I think, is in the same boat. So I think Pilot... check. Yeah, Pilot's already done the 3-tire strategy. He's the only one to complete it. Well, and Speedy. Pilot and Speedy can... well, I would say they can go to the end, but... you're not making it to the end on Saul, on... probably not making it to the end on... oh, Speedy just pitted for hard. So Speedy can go to the end. Pilot has one more stop to make.
If you're taking notes...
that's all, I mean, technically he doesn't, but the softs aren't making it 25 laps, let's be honest.
If you're taking notes, Charles, for tomorrow's race as to which corners you really got to watch out for, turn 3 and 4 has been... all of them, yeah, but turns 3 and 4 have been getting everybody. Oreo just got another penalty through those corners.
Yeah. 3 and 4 is probably the most treacherous spot. Just because you have to carry so much speed through there. And you could argue the last chicane too. The last chicane, the game does seem to give you the allowance in the last chicane at least. The 3 and 4 sector, the games, you just look at the line the wrong way, it'll give you a penalty, so. Now Joby is pitting. Getting his tires out of the way.
Yeah, might have been a lap too late on that, but nonetheless, he comes in and puts on mediums.
Joby is in the back anyway, so... so top 2 need to put on mediums. Chibar needs to put on softs. Kluka needs to put on hards yet. So I'm surprised Kluka didn't pit. Yeah, I would just would have pitted here, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the strategy here. Now Speedy pits again for mediums. I figured the hards were good to go. I guess the mediums can make it 24 laps. It won't be particularly fun the last 5 or 6 laps, but I'm stuck with the hards there personally, but
I did just check the warnings. Boy, you would think it's the end of the race just by looking at all the warnings that we've gotten, but I mean, hey, it's Canada.
I'm guessing everyone's on 2.
Based on what I saw, yeah. I mean, well, some guy got a warning for a collision with Kluka. That was in turn 1. I'm not sure where that's going to stand, but Speedy's got 2. Chabar's got a warning. C-Rizzy, some guy. Yeah, so most people have gotten at least 1.
I will say when I, humble brag, when I won the Canadian GP back in season 12, I got 2 warnings in like the first 3 laps, and then Kuka does it. Should have a few laps ago. I was able to keep it clean the rest of the race somehow, so it is possible. It certainly makes the race a lot more stressful than it needs to be, but yeah, Kuka now on the hards. He'll be looking to go to the end, so him and Speedy are looking to go to the end, I'm assuming.
On mediums?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can make to the end. Like I was saying, it won't be fun the last few laps, but I think they'll survive. Like I said, I think Kluka's to go to the end. I think Kluka, I was saying the mediums are a better race tire, but not if you take him 23 laps. So I think Kluka is definitely on the better tire for his situation, for their situation right now. But it's a strategy, not the one I would take. But
yeah. And I will say too, Speedin and Pilot on those soft tires could create some damage here with the guys ahead of him, as the safety car is in this lap.
I believe, let me check, Speedin and Pilot. Well, Pilot just, you can put it, Speedin needs to put the hards on, and Pilot kind of has his options, since Pilot's already fulfilled the requirements for the tire specialist, so. But keep in mind, there is a technicality, those tires have to be used for at least 1 green flag lap. So we pitch it in one. Messing with that. I go, and Speedy Gunner right on the get-go there.
Yeah, not ideal, as we are back underway now. Things are getting tight here through the first couple of corners. Looks like F1 Nerd is getting hounded by Speedin on those soft tires.
F1 Nerd, the first driver on fresh tires here. Like I said, everyone with the exception of Speedy and Kluka have to make at least one more stop here. Speedy gets a little sideways there, and it looks like this is a big pass for Pilot to be the first one on the softs. Which forces Speedin to take evasive action. Speedin compromised through that chicane there.
Ooh, Speedin gonna hold his ground. It looked like he was about to give up that spot, but he and Pilot are still side by side.
Now they're both going to absolutely drain the battery here. And Speedin looks like he's got the straight line speed, or maybe he's just willing to spend more. Oh, some guy. That's not going to help us. Like Speedin just decided to get rid of all his battery in one lap.
Jabbar gives him the space, but he will hold the position for the time being. Speedin with the switchback, though, just doesn't get the acceleration.
One Nerd moves into some guy now. Here they come. Here come the penalties.
One by one, here they come. And boy, what that has done is given D-Swish a comfortable lead, a 2.5 seconds over F1 Nerd.
Jabbar. It's not an Apex. But Speedin has really no battery to fight with. I guess I was playing on straight line speed. That was closer than it needed to be.
Yeah, he really took the side draft to a whole nother meaning right there.
Ball being hesitant to the flash game. Oh, Joby. He will slide ways there through the wall championship chicane. Now Kluka looking to start making his way up through the field. Oreo here, and like I said, he's in a pretty good spot. Kluka, you gotta get a sense Kluka is being very conservative.
Oh, man, Pilot! Oh, and he just put Jabbar in the wall. Just bullied him out of the way. Oh, Jabbar's gonna fight back here, yeah. Wow, I'm sure Jabbar won't be thrilled.
See any damage, that's the main question. It looks clean visually anyway. Oh, Oreo has retired! And done. Dun, 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 dun.
Do. Another one bites the dust.
Another one down. Anyway. That's unfortunate for Oreo Haffer again. Not entirely sure what caused that. There's only 3 laps on the hards. This helps Speedy. This helps Kluka. I would expect them to stay out because their tires aren't that old. And yeah, I would expect a lot of takers here. One nerd stays out. Interesting.
Look at this, though. Lots of takers in the pits. The pit lane is packed.
Now Kluka up to P4, although he'll be mad that he's still behind Joby. Pilot, interestingly, stayed out. I don't know why Pilot would have stayed out there.
Yeah, why would you stay out there? Because he started on the mediums, went to the hards, and went to the softs. So he is... Oh my goodness, what has just happened? See Rizzy, that was out of the first corner, it looked like. What happened there? Another one bites the dust.
Oh, Kluka, I don't know what... Kluka just had a moment there under safety. He almost did what you did last week.
Shush.
Thanks. Just saying.
No, it's fine. Yeah, no, that was not a retirement in the pits. C. Rizzy had an incident there in turn 1. Based on what I saw on the map, it didn't look like he pulled a Yuki Tsunoda and just blew through the corner. That looked like some sort of an on-track incident.
F1 nerd, his strategy's kind of caught him out here. He has the sauce to go to yet, which is why he stayed out. So that makes sense that F1 nerd stayed out, plus track position. Same with Joby, so Joby's on the same strategy as F1 nerd. Pilot, unless he's trying to take the sauce to the end, I mean, good luck. I don't know why he would pit, but I mean, I'd as soon put on another set of medians and go to the end, but what do I know?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what happened there with C. Rizzy, trying to get a word. That was strange, so maybe we'll see a video clip after the race.
I'll step aside for a minute here, hopefully be back.
Okay. So yeah, 3 safety cars, 4 DNFs, not even halfway through the race. Yeah, the safety cars, Zionical, I agree. It is a little much. I can guarantee you that the safety cars are on reduced, and I can only imagine what they would be like if they were on standard, because it is a little nuts. But I mean, at the same time, we have had a couple of pretty legitimate safety cars. The one with Hallberg was very legitimate. XD Champ, Oreo, both of those guys crashed at the back by themselves, so maybe not a big deal, but yeah. Remember, we only have a limit of 5, thank God. So, safety car in this lap. Looks like they're getting racy here before the restart. And this time it will be F1 Nerd to dictate this restart. Let's see when he goes. He is going full throttle, just sticking it in second gear, which I think is a risky thing to do. There he goes, though. He upshifts, and we're back underway. Oh, and Kluka right off the line gets a penalty through Wall of Champions. So there's his first penalty. Oh, and he gets a good jump, though, on D-Swish. D-Swish did not get a good jump off the line, and he's got a boatload of cars behind him.
Pilot! Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back. Yeah, Pilot just had a big moment there. He loses several spots.
I'll be honest, I was talking to myself for about 20 seconds before I realized that my mic was on mute, but anyway.
I did that last week, actually. I don't think you noticed, but I did that at one point last week.
This is good for F1. 3 seconds worth of time penalty is not the end of the world, because I just assume most everyone's going to have it.
Kluka's pushing the battery. I think he wants to get this done right now. Joby up in P2, but behind them, some guy in Pilot. Oh, look out, though! There goes Kluka spinning off into the grass.
That is so unfortunate. He's in a really good spot, even with the penalties. And now D-Switch is really in the catbird seat, because I do believe he has fulfilled the requirement for tires. But indeed he has.
Speedin taps the wall there through Wall of Champions. Pilot trying to come back from his mistake on some guy. Really pinches him to the outside, but all clean nonetheless. Joby goes wide. D-Switch gets that done.
Yeah, I was saying, Joby is doing a pretty good job defensively driving, because he does not have the pace as the guys around him right now. We've been able to keep him behind him, at least Kluka anyway.
Oh, that's not going to work. There's contact there. Joby stacks up the whole grid. A Ferrari goes through the grass. That is Speedin, and this is a mess here as Speedy's under pressure. And look at this mess. Pilot trying to get by Joby. Some guy gets both of them.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I saw a lot of carbon fiber flying. Oh, and Speedy just got another penalty. Saw a lot of carbon fiber flying, so it's going to be interesting to see who has damage and who doesn't now. And this is looking like D-Switch in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, there was contact there. It looked like Pilot tried to make a move on Joby, didn't work. Joby's going to lose everything here on this lap.
Yeah, it looks like Pilot was there, like on his inside, but it was kind of a half-hearted move. Pilot's stuck between two minds of what he wanted to do there. Oh, some guy has damage. He is trying to tough it out here.
Wow. Yeah, that was a big stack-up effect, so that doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, big moment there.
And yeah, this is falling right into D-Switch's lap, and D-Switch needs to take advantage of his fresher tires over F1 Nerd. Try and get the gap as close as possible, because F1 Nerd will be on those sauces.
Speedin, Speedy, side by side. Speedy not giving up. That was a bit of contact. They're still side by side. Here comes Chabar. Is he going to make this 3 wide?
Chabar decides to be smart here. Oh, and they both missed the apex, and here comes Joby. Almost got them all, but he kind of made a mess of it. That was almost a brilliant start.
Take a look at this. Speedin to the right-hand side. Chabar to the left. 3 wide. Speedy backs out of it. Chabar gets a 2-for-1. Speedin gets pushed off the track, and here comes Speedy back to get a 2-for-1. What is going on here?
Oh, man. Speedin probably won't be happy with that. That was a good move by Chabar, in my opinion. Oh, Chabar still holding the inside on Speedy.
Oh, they're 3 wide again! Speedin to the inside, trying to get a 2-for-1. What's with all these 2-for-1s? Are they going to go side by side in turns 3 and 4? Chabar has the lift. Great racing.
And Speedy almost rear-ended, well, he did rear-end Kluka, but he didn't really make much contact. Speedy almost hits a little bit of a tank slapper there. Now Kluka's back joining the party, so this is hectic racing here.
Meanwhile, F1 Nerd really is doing a good job right now on his older tires of holding the lead, but we'll see if that sticks. Yeah, now they're starting to spread out. All these guys still within DRS, but a ways back from Pilot, who is up in 4th. Speedin's blinking already.
I wonder if Pilot has damage too, because he's not doing much on some guy who does have damage. You just see it on the screen. Let's check it out.
Oh, and oh my goodness! Oh, that's a big crash there. Kluka and Speedy, I saw that coming. Looked like a little bumper cars there, and that was ugly.
Well,
Yikes.
9 cars. This is definitely a lot for 9 cars. I'll say that. But hey, you don't need that many cars to have a really good race here. Meanwhile, D-Switch is really eating into that lead of F1 Nerd this lap. He's already in DRS, I think, actually.
I wanna stay on this because I'm hearing Colby's not happy, and he's gonna get to him right here. I just want to see what happens.
Be smart, guys. We're all getting points here.
Really, yeah, that's not good. Not good.
Okay, that's a little. All right, someone just needs to take the high road here. Except L. He does let him back by. Hopefully that's the end of it. Oh no. And now he goes into the pits, and that was almost a disaster.
Yeah.
The crossover I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
Okay, well.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the front, F1 Nerd, like you said, his lead has diminished just when I said he was doing a really good job, but it's going to be hard for him to hold off D-Swish with D-Swish's pace at the moment.
If you're D-Swish, you just don't want to take any chances here because you're in a really good spot. You have a pit stop in hand on F1 Nerd. Obviously, you want to get around them and not use your tires too much. Like I said, the main thing here is just stay clean, take the risk. F1 Nerd really wants to fight, let him. But yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on. Obviously, the Speedy Kluka incident will be looked at by the stewards, both of them. Of course, you had Speedin and Speedy. It's 2 of them. 2 incidents of Speedy. He's done good so far, but it's kind of not good. He was speed and then reset the track, which he hadn't caught. So it's
yeah.
But
Meanwhile,
getting points.
Well, if they finish, I mean, at this rate, I don't know. Speedy in the pits here.
No, because you know what that means, right? You know he's going to come. Who he's going to come out around now?
No, I think Kluka's got him because Speedy had to wait, so I think Kluka will get him by a good margin here because he's replacing his wing as well. And yeah, here comes Kluka, so yeah, that shouldn't be an issue.
F1 Nerd just needs to stay within DRS of these, which I'd imagine he'd hit. That's F1 Nerd maybe hit lap 26 maybe. I mean, 9 laps is kind of a stretch in the sauce, but it's doable. I'm sure the mediums don't feel the best right now, so 26 or 27 is probably what you're looking for. So F1 Nerd.
Keep in mind too, I mean, look at the battery. D-Swish is blinking right in front of him, and F1 Nerd has basically saved up everything. He needs to start using it though, because he's getting close to getting outside of DRS. Yeah, he needs to use some, like, right now. Yeah, there he goes.
Pilot, excellent.
Here's what I said though, like, this is why I picked Jabbar for the win. I don't think it's going to happen, but he is one of 3 drivers to not have a penalty right now.
See, that Kuka is supposed to I think it'll be between the top 2. Yeah, but and right now, he's technically in P4 right now. He has to hold it. This pilot is going to be charging here on the fresh mediums. Ooh, and he can't be missing apexes like that. F1 Nerd. The pit window is now open as he goes another lap.
Yeah, that's a good point. F1 Nerd still needs to pit, and he is actually one of 2 drivers that needs to pit. Joby still has to put on the softs as well.
Pilot, back-to-back fastest laps. See if Kluka has a response. Oh no, he has no battery.
Hey, you know what? Speedy's on the softs, and Speedy has drained everything. So Speedy, well, I don't know. He's a little low on the time right now. I don't think he's going to get fastest lap.
Oh, and Kluger just missed fastest lap by a couple hundredths.
Wow. Yeah, Speedy Gunner all out of battery. It looks like his bid at a fastest lap is over.
Does he hit this time?
I would. He's starting to lose battery because he's trying to keep up. Yeah, and he's got a tank slapper there. I think this is the time you come and pit because he's going to lose DRS here on this lap.
Listen, 8-9 to go. It's probably a good time to pit. He said as long as you're in DRS range, you will technically as a point away from everyone behind him. So, yeah. That fastest lap conversation we just haven't had a feeling is all pointless for F1s. Come out and pit some fresh sauce and put in the banger, so just ignore everything we just said.
Yeah. And with penalties too, keep in mind Chabar could gain a spot or two as Joby, first one out of the two remaining that needs to pit, he comes in, puts on the softs.
Joby's in a decent spot. He'll have fresher tires than Speedy, and right now I think 6 less seconds of time penalties.
Yeah, let's take a look at the penalties. Speedy with 12, so Joby's a little ways back though, so it might be close.
That'll be interesting, and F1 Nerd goes another lap. I don't understand, because now some guy is slowly starting to catch him. I don't understand that at all, but hey, I mean, if a safety car comes out in the next lap or two, well, he'll look like a genius, so.
Yeah, that's probably what he's waiting for, but when you're fighting for a championship and you're losing time to the guy behind you, and here's the thing too, F1 Nerd doesn't have any penalties as well. So, yeah, he probably should have pitted a couple of laps ago, regardless of safety car timing and whatnot.
I mean, I'm thinking, just looking at the gaps, I mean, he's probably still in line for a P2, because, I mean, I don't know, he'll have a decent amount of time to wheel into some guy. But Pilot, Speed, and Chabar, I mean, I don't think Chabar will put up much of a fight. Teammates, they work well together. I know they do work together.
They do, yes.
So, I mean, he's on, man, F1 Nerd's still on track for at least a P2, P3, I would think. Yeah, 15. Add another one. Go ahead, 18.
Another one.
Another one for F1 Nerd. This is where we start thinking.
Yep. I don't want to say it.
F1 Nerd. Yeah. Remember, it's a 3-tire special. I mean, that's an automatic DQ. No questions asked.
Yeah, I mean, really, like, the only scenario I can see, and we're about to have it here, Pilot and Chabar. Pilot's going to make a move here. Oh, yeah, there he goes, and he gets spun around, just like that. Wow.
I think that was more on Chabar. A little bit of elbows out and stuff there, but there was room on the inside, and Pilot was much faster. Yeah, I feel for Chabar there, but I think I don't think there was. I mean, both drivers could have done more to avoid that, but that's what it is. And now he's coming into the pits. F1 Nerd pulling the trigger.
Now it's a question of where does he come out. I think that did slow down Pilot a little bit, but look at this. Some guy speeding, already getting past Pilot as well.
Like I said, I think he'll get speed in. Just he's leaving a lot of track to make up, and he pitted a lap or two earlier. Another lap, so F1 Nerd, No penalties. Get your fastest lap. Watch the pit exit line. Looks like he was borderline there.
Jabbar also in the pits.
Well, he just got spun, so he might as well go for a fastest lap. That's probably what he's thinking.
Yeah.
His teammates probably going to do the same thing. Speed and another 3-second time penalty, so that pretty much guarantees F1 nerd podium. Well, you only still have 4 seconds to make up on pilot, I think. Yeah, so F1 nerd does have 2 warnings though.
Keep in mind too, pilot is on pressure mediums. Speedin's on older hard, so this will be a battle here, maybe in the next 2 seconds.
Speedy Gunner. Yeah, he's gonna want to take his 2 points and get out of here.
Hey, we still have a couple laps until the 90%, so don't. It's not over till the fat lady sings. You know, you never know. Pilot might. Is he gonna try the same move as he did on Jabbar? No.
Like I said, I don't really think Pilot necessarily did anything wrong. I think he was by both drivers, but I don't know. I have a feeling Jabbar might have a different opinion for me. Both of these guys are catching some guy though. That is also worth mentioning. And Pilot looking. Oh, speeding. Kind of fell for the dummy there. It's going to be a drag race here. Pilot with DRS, so there should be an easy overtake. Since Speeding has 0 battery. Surprised that F1 nerd is not dumping the battery here to get fastest lap, but he does want to make quick work of the guy once he gets there, which I'm sure he will. Just 4 laps to go.
To the line. He does not get fastest lap.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of fastest lap, what about Jabbar? Jabbar's definitely used his battery. There he goes. He really yeeted it through that chicane. Jabbar, I don't think he's going to get it either. No.
Wow. Huh. It is Pilot with a 1:12.420.
Yep. And just looking at the deltas, I mean, F1 nerd is already. I mean, let's take a look. Yeah, F1 nerd's already in P2 effectively. So.
I hate to direct the attention somewhere else, but you might want to look at P7 and P8 right now.
Yeah. Lord.
Yeah. Or maybe. Or I don't know. I don't know what he's going for. Oh, it's P2 though for the time being. Some guy gets overtaken. Get the boxing gloves out. Ding, ding, ding. What's gonna happen here?
If I'm Jabbar, just wait for a DRS stretch, dump the battery. He sees Speedy blinking. Yeah, just dump the battery here. If you clear him by the time you get to the chicane, it should be a no contest, so. Yeah. Even if Speedy wanted to do something, well, we could still punt him right here, but no. Not can I get 21? Oh boy.
Is he playing blackjack? Because if so, he's doing pretty dang good.
Hit me.
Okay, Dan Campbell. Wow, and here's F1 nerd though. Like you said, he has got a podium right now. Could get P2 at this rate.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem for F1 nerd is that Pilot has made progress. He has not been held up with these guys much. Pilot guy needs to really catch up right now. F1 nerd will have the better tires for the next 2 laps here, but
I don't know, man. I mean, F1 nerd's within 2 seconds of him.
Yeah, but the thing is, it depends on how much is F1 nerd going to get held up by some guy right here.
Yeah, this is a big spot right here.
Maybe not much at all. Yep.
Wow, that was easy.
All right.
That was super easy.
Get that Staples button now. Oh, don't hit the wall, jeez.
Oh, look at this, though. He might be fighting back here. These are rivals for the points lead.
F1 Nerd. Solid. And honestly, like, he didn't really do anything that, I mean, his pace is obviously pretty good. He hasn't done anything that spectacular. He just hasn't gotten involved in any nonsense, really. Because everyone else has either shot themselves in the foot, done some sort of weird strategy, or just been caught up in who knows what.
Yeah. 13th to 2nd. That's a pretty good day for F1 Nerd. Final lap, though, for D-Swish. What a comeback. Missing the first 2 races.
And also, too, I'll point this out, 0 warnings for D-Swish.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, hats off to him. That's brilliant. Battle for P4 is going to go to some guy based on penalties, but we'll see if Speedin has a say at this. Whoa, he goes way to the left. Some guy does have damage.
Yeah. Credit to some guy. He's had great pace with damage. Has done a good job not to put it in the wall. Chavar's no penalties will mean absolutely nothing since he's 20 seconds back of this battle. Shame. But it's what it is, and yeah. Fun with these guys just to back off the pride of it, but don't really stupid put yourself out of the race.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on this. Let's take a look real quick. If something's going to happen here, he is going to send it. At the front, though, D-Swish, in his return, wins the Canadian Grand Prix Round 3.
Yeah, definitely. That was pretty flawless drive by him. Some guy in Speedin. Like I said, Speedin will be getting a pretty significant penalty because they said he did reset the track. Don't think it's going to be 18 seconds worth, though, and let's be honest, he shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. Uh-oh. We get the boxing gloves out again. I don't know what happened to Kluka, but he, stopped. That really matters in the end, because Speedy has a lap's worth of time penalties, but... Alright.
Oh!
Speedy, I mean...
Well, that's an appropriate way to end the race for him.
I mean, I don't know, say half the time when you crash before the line, it counts as a DNF, which is into 90% anyway, but then it'd be like, you'd be on the hook for crashing himself on purpose. So I think he'll get away with that. But
he'd be on the shorts if he did that. That would be his punishment, subjected to the YouTube.
Anyway. I mean, he might be anyway. He might get there anyway, but yeah, Speedy will be happy to take his 2 points and get out of Dodge. Not unscathed, though. But yeah, flawless race from D-Swish. Not much else to be said. Pole, that'd be interesting. Who got the fast lap in the end? Really good drive from F1 Nerd. Pilot, questionable strategy. It's probably about the only thing to really say about him. Got caught up in a few argy-barginess as this is there in the middle. It'll be interesting to see what his take is on the Chabar coming together, as well as the one with Speedin or Hallberg. Oh, F1 Nerd gets fastest lap too, so great day for an F1 Nerd. So, but
behold, the Canadian Grand Prix summed up right here. All of the warnings, all of them.
Just trying to give a few shout-outs here. I mean, really,
still going.
Really, the top 5 all had solid days. Not
gone.
Only the top 2 really had good days. Joby, highest finish this season, so decent result from him. Albeit, ignore the fact that it was just from survival, but yeah, overall, it was definitely an exciting race. I'm sure the stewards are going to have a busy week, but yeah.
Yeah, that would be me.
Oh, good luck.
Thanks. Can't wait for that mess. So, We, I think, are going to have a good old-fashioned PlayStation Party interview because, well, no,
Pilots on
because
PC.
pilots. Pilot. Come on, man. Damn. All right.
Womp
On to the
womp.
Discord. Womp womp. To the Discord we go.
Psionical, we appreciate your comments. We were
Absolutely.
reading them, even though we weren't necessarily responding to them. But yeah, I agree. 3 safety cars before the halfway point was something.
And yeah, so we already have 5 tickets opened up in the Challenger
Mhm.
Series ticket submissions. So yeah, this will be a long week for Challenger stewards. Just
All right.
can't.
Let's see if I can just recap. See if we caught any. Well, and don't forget to reset the track, which probably isn't on there. What's your ticket?
Yeah, I don't think I caught that on screen, but you could always submit if
Kluka.
you want to be,
Kluka. Speedy. Ooh, Speedy submitting Kluka. Kluka. And so 4 of them are Kluka. One of them Speedy submitting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, that probably will get merged down into 1 or 2 incidents, probably.
Yeah, I
At
can
least I would
imagine.
hope, because as a steward, that would be a pain in the ass to have to go and work on all
Mhm.
4 of those tickets.
Yep. All right. Are we in the party?
We're in the Discord, so I would just hop over there for the moment.
Sounds good.
Who else are we waiting on? I think just F1 Nerd, then we should be good to go, I would think. And Charles, once Charles decides to join up. And there he is. All right, well, for the time being, we can get this thing started. We'll go P3 and then work our way up to P1. So, we're going to start with P3 pilots. I believe back-to-back podiums for you, so congrats on that. You had quite the race. I'm trying to trying to remember because I mean, you've had probably one of the least eventful races out of most of the people at the front, just because it was chaotic there at one point. So yeah, just how do you think your race went?
I mean, the race went pretty decent. I think I definitely didn't have the greatest strategies, so it sort of put me at the back for a lot of it, but I managed to come back through to get the podium, so it went pretty well overall.
Yeah, so we were commenting on your strategy there. I believe you started. Did you start on mediums?
Yes.
Okay.
You were on sports for a while there. I was kind of wondering why you didn't go off of them in like one of the safety cars. That was neat. Anything you want to add there, or just talk us through that? Well, with the softs, so the safety car that came out a couple laps after I put them on, I only had a new set of mediums left, and I knew they wouldn't make it to the end. So I was just hoping that there'd be another safety car. In the end, there wasn't, but
Yeah, so I was talking with Kluka before the race, pilot, and he said that you had really good pace. And you did miss the first 2 races, so you're 2 for 2 on podiums. So, um, how do you feel like your pace is compared to last season? Do you think you've gotten a little quicker, or do you think things are the same and you're just getting the results?
I think it's a bit of both. I was always pretty quick last season. I could just never get that pace out in the race, and it's still like that this season. It's hard with the races. I usually tense up a lot, and that's the reason why I didn't have too many good finishes last season. So just trying to keep calm during the races to make sure I can get the that I've always had.
Gotcha. And I do have one more thing just to go over. Late in the race, there was a little moment with you and Chabar. going through the end of Sector 1. There was contact and Chabar spun out. What did you see from your point of view?
I haven't gotten a chance to look back at it yet, but in the moment, I was coming up on him really quick. I had much newer tires and was overall just a lot faster, so I didn't want to get held behind him too much. So I went for it in the turn. And on my end, I felt like I had given him enough room. I think it was just like a slight bump, and then the cars just like stuck together, and I think that's what happened there.
Gotcha. Yeah, we did get a look at it, but it wasn't the best angle. So yeah, that's good to know. Charles, you got one last question for Pilot?
No, I think that you covered just about everything. But yeah, good job. Mostly just surviving the chaos, and congrats on the podium.
Thank you.
Yeah, bud, congrats on the podium, and 2 weeks in a row. So do we think we can get a third here next week? How are we feeling about Qatar?
Oh, Qatar's the next track?
Yeah.
I've always felt pretty confident in that, so hopefully I can go 3 for 3.
Right on. All right, now we will move up to P2 F1 Nerd. Man, I mean, same story, different week, right? Not the best qualifying scenario, but you work your way up to get a podium. But it wasn't quite like that, though. We were actually getting a little worried that you weren't going to pit there towards the end because you waited until, I think, lap 30 or lap 31 to come and pit for the soft. So, yeah, just talk us through that and just your decision to kind of wait to pit for the softs.
Yeah, I mean, didn't have to worry about qualifying this time, so it was not too bad. Well, I thought I had no idea if D-Swish I didn't know D-Swish started on the soft. I was just following him by like staying within that 2 seconds until like originally I was gonna pit lap 28 for the softs, but then I kind of extended because I saw D-Swish he wasn't like getting further away from me on his new medium, so I was just like keeping close by until lap 30. I called it in, and yeah, those final 5 laps I was pushing hard.
Yeah, we did notice you ended up overtaking everybody. At least on track you did, besides D-Swish, who was in a whole another universe. But yeah, you survived without getting a penalty, which is like the biggest challenge at this track. Did you get any warnings there in the last few laps, or were you able to do what you did and not get any warnings through that?
Well, the last few laps I did not get one. If I did get a warning, it would have been a penalty because I already got 2. One in like the early laps, and then the second one was when my mediums were toasted. So I was being cautious as well, but pushing at the same time.
Gotcha. And I do have one more thing before I pass this over to Charles. Same story, different year when it comes to your results, man. Third, second, and second, and the third is in the sprint race. So really, you're starting off with 3 seconds in a row. You do close the gap to some guy a little bit in the points. So how are we feeling? How do you think the season has gone for you so far?
It's been a good start, consistency wise and like points wise, I guess. Maybe could have had a win by now, but then I guess last week was my mistake, and this week was up to strategy, I guess. Just didn't use it to my best, I guess, with the safety car in the beginning, but quite happy. So yeah, too early on in the season, but good points so far.
Right on. Charles, you got anything?
Not really. I mean, really good race. Like I said, you and D-Switch probably had the cleanest races out of everyone. Was there any moments when you were kind of back in the back where there was kind of things kind of got a little sketchy? Did you have any close balls there towards the beginning?
There was a couple, but I guess I was just I knew I was on hards, and then everyone in front of you was like on faster tires. So I was just taking my time in the beginning. I know what can happen at the back with all the chaos and stuff. I've been there before, so I was just taking my time, honestly, at the beginning, the first few laps.
Awesome. Well, hey man, congrats on another great race, and just keep doing what you're doing. You know, if you if you finish second in every race, I think you'll have a good shot at winning the championship.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. But yeah, great race with D-Swish and Pilot and the rest of them.
Right on. And speaking of D-Swish, P1 first race back this season, and boy, what a way to do it! I mean, you did everything but get the fastest lap. Really, started first, finished first. Yeah, how was it from your point of view?
How we doing, guys? It's good to be back.
Yes,
that was
sir.
a good race. I got the strategy right. The safety doors were timed pretty well. Yeah, I had a really good setup. I did a 109.6 in time trial, so I knew I had the pace. So yeah, it was a good race.
Wow. Yeah, I need to up my game for tomorrow. If you're putting that down in time trial, jeez. So you had the pace, like you said, but Charles mentioned that you didn't get a single warning throughout the race. How?
No, I didn't. So Canada is one of my best tracks. I threw a little bit more downforce on the car just to make sure I had a little bit more, turn in and was able to control the car a little bit more. But Canada is probably, if it's not my best track, it's my second best track.
Clearly. That's awesome. Charles, you got any questions for D-Swish?
Yeah, I mean, I guess one, I mean, are you going to be making it to the rest of the races? And two, did you have same question I asked F1 Nerd? I mean, you didn't seem like you had a whole lot to do. I mean, aside from go fast and keep pointing direction, which is certainly something. But was there any close calls for you throughout the race?
As far as making it to every race, I'm going to try to. My job kind of limits me. I have rotating days off, so I'm not always off Tuesday nights. So I'm going to try and make it. I'm moving shifts here, so I'm going to try and make it to the rest of the race, but I can't guarantee anything. As far as incidents, right after the tight chicane where Vettel went off a couple years ago, somebody spun and crashed, and I missed it by an inch when he spun back onto the track.
Hallberg, I think.
That was about it.
Yeah, I was shocked that nobody else hit him because that was Hallberg that spun, and he crashed, like you said, right in the middle of the track, and he wasn't ghosted. I was betting on like this huge 3 to 4 car crash, but somehow all of you guys got by him.
Yeah, it was incredible. He crashed. I'm like, no.
You just saw your life flash before your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, congrats on the win. By the way, did you end up winning a race last season? I know you won one on track.
I can't remember, honestly. I think I got a penalty in one. I might have won one, but I honestly I can't remember.
Okay. Because if not, then boy, this is quite the stretch since your last win in the league, right?
Season, what was it, 9 maybe?
Oh wow.
Wow.
Whew. Yeah, we'll have to look that up. But yeah, man, you're back. You're here to play, and I think you'll be right there for the championship. So congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys commentating on all this. It makes it a hell of a lot better for all of us. So I just want to thank you guys for that.
Right on, man. All right. Well, boy, Charles, I don't know about you, but after watching this, I'm a little scared to race tomorrow. that was something else.
Yeah. Well, like I said before, I did a couple races here a couple weeks ago, so like I've been through it, but just avoiding the PTSD from whatever on earth is going to happen. It won't be any rain at least, so that'd be fun. But yeah, I'm just expecting anything that can happen will happen, and yeah, it should be a fun one tomorrow. I'm gonna have another close to a full grid, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But yeah, it was I think this Challenger Series there's gonna be a few more twists to the tail. Yeah, I definitely think F1 nerd, some guy, and D Swish, so he can make the most of the races. We're definitely probably the three who will probably battle that for the championships. A few other guys like Pilot might sneak in and get a win or two, but I think those are your guys moving forward.
Yeah, hey, Pilot's 2 for 2 when it comes to podium, so he'll definitely be in that mix as well. But we do have 2 more races this week. Tomorrow night, the Elite Series back here in Canada, and then we got Super Formula on Thursday. I'm gonna do a quick check as to where those guys are at because I am not a part of that. They will be in Monza. That will be on Thursday. I don't think that will be streamed, but we should get streams up. Hopefully before the end of the season, we'll start doing that. So if you are on iRacing, we have plenty of spots open for that tier. So go to our website and check that out. But that will do it. My name is Camden Luca. That is Sir Charles. And we will see you for the Challenger Series next week in Qatar. Have a good night.